Hey, okay. It is June 30th, the last day of our fiscal year in 2026, 25, 26. And just so you know, we are ending up really great at the end of the year. We probably are doing the highest month production we have ever done as a unit, which is super exciting. And that's thanks to you. We um, have gotten our car. So we requalified for the car, which I will take the cash, which is $525 a month. And we also hit 300,000. I'm not sure if we reached the goal with the 10% growth because I'm confused on how they're looking at the numbers. But I will tell you, we've had like 25 people order that were T's or inactive. But I think they were already counting inactives, and so I don't know if those are going to count for the numbers. So I'm not sure if we hit that. And I hopefully will know. Maybe they'll update that report tomorrow. But I'm super excited about how many people got active and how many people decided to do an order this month and having just a record month. Is really great. So I thank all of you for that because that is definitely a team effort. So I was really going back and forth on what to train on tonight, and I knew a lot of people weren't going to be on. So I'm really kind of doing a um, fire up for the new year kind of thing. So next week on which will be July 7th, I believe. um, we will have a meeting, and I'll be going over all of the programs that the company has that will hopefully come out tomorrow on what their plans are for the new year and at least for the new month. And then I am putting together what we're really going to kind of focus on as a unit for next year and how recognition is going to be. If you're watching this and you did not receive my survey via text, I was asking for some questions to be answered. Um, Kind of just to help me see, is Tuesday night still when we want to meet? I do need to know who we're going to Go Give to. So I already have 14 or 15 of you that have turned that in, but I would like to have a few more before I make my final decisions on everything. So I'll probably reach out to some of you individually and see if you can fill that out, especially those of you that typically come to meeting. Um, so anyway, I will do that. But I wanted to give you a little practical thought tonight because this time of year definitely lends itself to, okay, I finished this seminar year. What do I want? Um, what do I want the new seminar year to be? And it's almost like we get two new years because we tend to do this in January and then we also tend to do it in July. And I'll also tell you that with seminar being so late this year, if you're someone that's attending seminar, we really can't wait until the middle of August to decide this is what I want to do with my Mary Kay business in this new year. We really want to get started on that much quicker. And so, what I encourage you to do over the next week, before our next meeting, is to really put some prayer and thought into what you want this business to be for you in the next year. And it can be all different things. It may not be financial, but most of the time, those of you that come in to Mary Kay do want it to be financial. I'm gonna let Jody in here really quick. Hey.
Hey.
So you're it, but I started recording
Oh,
because I decided to record.
okay.
I was like, I was thinking, well, I don't have to record, I guess, but I thought I may send it to a couple of people that aren't here. And I only heard from one person that said they weren't going to be here, so I don't know where everybody is, but it's okay. It's where we are. But I did just tell everybody that's going to watch this video that we're at almost 16,000 wholesale for the month. So that is like
Wow.
the highest month we've ever had as a unit. And we hit our 300,000 and we got our car. And so we're wrapping up really good. But I was saying that I thought we also need to be thinking this kind of, and you're kind of at this place anyway, personally. This is just a really good time to be thinking about, okay, I'm excited about what happened or not in this last year, and this is what I really want for next year. So I am going to do a little pick me up training tonight. Though I think a lot of people's headspace is pretty good at the moment. Like, I mean, I really think yours is. I mean, you have a lot going on, but you have a lot to look forward to after you get through with Thursday. So I think your headspace has been, let's get this done and move on. So I think and you're looking at me like, yeah, I hope my headspace is that, but I think it is. I think you're looking forward to next week. Um, and hopefully it'll just going to be immediately better for you. So you're looking at me like, I don't know if my headspace is that good. But
No, I am absolutely 100% ready for this to
yes,
be over and done with. But
yes,
I that's why I was telling somebody, it's like I've been pushing so hard that now that I'm like in the last 48 hours, that it's now it's like okay.
yeah,
I think the anxiety and I think the unknown and the just letting go and just
yeah,
letting him do what he's going to do because there's nothing else I can do. I mean,
yeah,
I've already pivoted as much as I can pivot.
yep,
Um, now, saying that, that does not mean that there's not more to learn how to do, but I have pivoted. So,
yeah.
anyway, so
I mean,
this
I
meeting
think,
is not about me. This meeting is
I know.
about you and what a fabulous unit ending to the
Yeah,
year.
yeah,
And congratulations, everybody, because
yeah,
that is, and to our great, amazing leader that led us through every single up and down and just kept plowing. And I mean, we didn't look like we were going to hit either one of them when June started. I mean, it was doable, but we had to really push and we pushed
yeah,
and
yeah.
congratulations.
Yeah, we've gone like over and above. So, what I'm going to do is I'm doing one little practical tip, and then I'm truly just doing a little head thing that I've actually trained on before. When I was reading through this, I couldn't remember how many years ago this was that I did this, and I've trained on it a couple of times, but it's been not since we started recording these and putting them on YouTube. So I thought this is good reminder for me and for all of us as we begin to start a new seminar year. So my practical knowledge is, um, thinking about Star Consultant, that's an area that I really wanted us to be focused on this year. And I mean, we didn't have very many 4-quarter stars. And so with a unit our size and people that maybe want to make money, that is probably one area we're going to focus on. But I'm going to give you guys all the things next week that we're going to be doing for the new year. But a couple months ago, we were tracking tickets. We were just looking at, okay, how many tickets did we have? And how much sales does that turn into? And we know that a track number grows. I mean, we hear it all the time, but just as a little tip, and this has been around 4 years, and I think that it's actually easier now because the products cost a little bit more. So it's easier. They haven't changed, and we'll see if they change it tomorrow. But if the company changes anything, but to be a Sapphire Star at this currently right now, it's 1,800 wholesale in a quarter, and that quarter started June 16th, and it's going to go to September 15th. And in reality, that is 40 tickets per month. If you only sold $30 to 40 people in a month and you had 40 tickets, that would get you how much you need to order every month to be a Sapphire Star. And I think that doesn't have to be your goal if you don't want it to be your goal. But the value in that means that you are making a profit and you're able to pay yourself. Now, I was going to talk about money management tonight, but because I'm doing some research, because we're going to have to kind of change a little bit. If you're getting any My Shop orders, we're going to have to change a little bit our thought process. Or if you're ordering at 30% and all that kind of stuff, Most people that are trying to make money are not going to be getting 30% off very often. It's going to be 50% off, but there's some changes with that. So I was doing a little research and I didn't have all my ducks in a row on that. So we're definitely going to train on that at some point in July. But my practical tip is if you track your tickets and you look at your sales every week and you look at your tickets, if you shoot for 40 tickets a month, that should help you sell enough. And that's only $30, which most of our products, I mean, our new foundation is 28. You sell a foundation and a foundation primer or a foundation and a setting powder to one person. I mean, that's if you do that to 40 people in a month, you're going to have what you need to be a star. So just food for thought, but definitely everybody think through for the next week, you know, what do I really want? And it can be monetary or it may not be monetary. You know, it's really what you value. But what I wanted to talk about is, and I think I'm kind of preaching to the choir, the people that are actually here and the people that are actually listening to this, but I don't know. Jody, have you ever read this book? Okay, this is actually a pretty good book. I think you can get it. You can order it from Amazon, but it's called More Than a Pink Cadillac, and it's Mary Kay Inc.'s 9 Leadership Keys to Success. And this is actually a really good book. But in a nutshell, I feel like Mary Kay, the business and the woman and the culture, to me, is to make our lives better. So I don't know if I told you this, Jody, but when I was teaching Vacation Bible School this month, um, one of the little girls was going to pray for us that day. And so during her prayer, she said, God, make Miss Angela be better, which is really funny. And so I don't know if she thought I just wasn't good enough or if she was just, I want you to be better. But I thought that that was really funny. And, really in a nutshell, we want our lives to be better and we want Mary Kay to help others be better, right? So we make our customers' lives better, we make our lives better, we make our team members' lives better. Therefore, it makes our families' lives better. So to me, I've had people asking me lately because today is my 27th anniversary in Mary Kay. I started on June 30th, had no idea, what a big deal it was that I came in on June 30th. I didn't do my order, but I did sign up on June 30th. And then I did my order in July. So that was 27 years ago. And so I've had a few people ask me about that. People maybe that aren't really in Mary Kay. And I think the only way that you can truly fail at this business is to quit. So I think this is a good time of year to think about, however long you've been in Mary Kay, whether it's 6 months or, 27 years. It's a good time to think about, what do I want this to be for me? And am I going to keep doing this? There's other opportunities out there and, am I going to try something else? Am I going to stick with this? I feel like part of the reason why I'm at where I'm at in my business is because I didn't quit. So I would like to encourage anyone listening to this to just stay at it and not quit. So I'm going to give you a little training on don't quit. And so we're going to go with the word D. D stands for daily discipline. So people create success in their lives by focusing on today. You're never going to change your life until you change something you're doing daily. And so this could be in your spiritual life, it could be in your physical life, it could be with your family, and it can be in your Mary Kay business. If there is something that's really bugging you, then make a decision to fix it. And if Stephanie was on here tonight, I was going to say, you know what? She decided to quit smoking over a year ago and she just quit. And so it was bugging her and she fixed it, which I know that's a lot easier said than done.
Yeah.
But
So
on
I was
anything.
listening to Ed Mylett today. I was doing a lot of podcasts this afternoon to keep me focused. And one of his things was discipline.
Oh, so you've heard that twice today.
Yeah. So when you said that, I was like, oh. But he made the comment that he said he said, he made the comment that successful people are disciplined. He said they're not the ones that sit around and just let things happen. He said they're disciplined. And he said they're so disciplined that they track and they schedule everything that they do. And he said, and that's discipline. That's being disciplined. He said, I have on my calendar, on my to-do list, on my to-do for each day, exactly who I'm going to call, what calls I'm going to make, what I'm going to do. He said, because it's discipline. He said, your mind, if you don't do that, your mind will overwork and you'll be tired.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that
Well,
interesting? Huh?
yes, and it kind of goes back to I was doing new consultant training on Sunday, and you know what you just said that he was doing, that's kind of like doing your 6 most important things list the night before. And then, the thing that we know, like if you know that you've got to make those calls, then you decide the night before what you're going to do, and then that way when you get up, because we have a lot of noise in our life.
Mhm.
I mean, there's a lot of things that can distract us. But if you kind of know these are the 6 most important things, which that, has been going on for as
That's
long as
been,
Mary Kay.
yes, it's been, yeah, I thought about that too when he was talking about his schedule. He also said that if you don't schedule your gym time or your workout time, you won't do it. He said
Mm-hmm.
it has to be in writing and it has to be scheduled or you won't do it. And Lord, I know that's true.
Well, and I think that's why, of course, I'm paying more. I'm paying more, but on Fit Body Camp, I have to schedule it on the app if I want to
Mhm.
go. And then I work out one time a week with a personal trainer, and it's scheduled, and I
Mhm.
have to go because it's scheduled with her. And so, unless I cancel in time, and so I don't want to cancel because I have set that appointment. And so, even when I don't really feel like going, I go because it's scheduled.
Yeah,
So that's
yeah,
helped me immensely. It does cost me a little bit more,
but
but it's been
but it's
worth it for me.
discipline. It's
It's
discipline.
discipline. It is discipline. So,
But anyway,
and I would say too, some of us, if we feel like our sales are not enough, I was just talking about being a star. The first step I think in discipline with that is to have planned booking time that you do consistently. And you can decide whether that's daily, weekly, monthly. That's your choice based on your time. But disciplined in booking is really what keeps our businesses going. So I think that that's important. So that's all part of letter D. Letter O is onward. We have to keep moving forward. So we know Martin Luther King Jr.'s quote, if you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, you have to keep moving forward. So even if today was not good, or maybe last week or last month was not what you wanted, the awesome thing about Mary Kay is they would get a new day, a new week, a new month. You keep putting one step in front of the other, embrace the process, and you will succeed. And so now that we're at the very end of a year, we're kind of in a fresh start again. We're getting ready to have a fresh new year, a fresh new month. So that's kind of exciting. Letter N stands for no negative self-talk. So get rid of it. And we know that, but it's like a discipline too. So, and I'm generally a positive person and I'm not negative to other people, but I sometimes am negative to myself. In addition, the things I'm saying out loud, I have found in the past has affected my ability to work hard. So I try not to say, I have to do this. I should have done this. I need to do this. And so that's kind of energy sucking to say those things. So try to change your verbiage to I choose to do this, I want to do this, I will do this, and it gives you a lot more energy towards that instead of going, oh gosh, I really need to do this. Well, I really need to do that, and I should have done this. And sometimes going kind of back to the booking thing, sometimes it's hard to get started with booking because maybe we don't really want to reach out to those people or we're kind of nervous about it or whatever. And so you kind of have to talk to yourself better about, okay, so this kind of goes back, Jody, to like you saw those people in the grocery store. And so you could have been like, oh, I don't really want to. I know I'm being prompted to talk to them, but I don't really want to. But instead, you were like, no, I'm just going to do it. I feel like I'm supposed to do it. And then, regardless of what comes out of it, you know that the outcome is better because you did it. Whether it's better because it just was a great experience for you to reach out to those people and be positive, or you could end up really booking them and something could come from it. You never know. But that was kind of in that moment, you didn't talk to yourself negatively. You just said, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna talk to these girls. And you felt great afterwards. Hopefully they truly will book. But either way, the outcome, you've wanted that outcome. So that's kind of wanting that positive outcome. And then T stands for truth statements, which I've talked about this before. This is something my coach worked with me on years ago, and she brought it up to me again, like the last time we talked. So it was interesting that I had talked about this before. Um, so truth, what is really truth? Like for you. And when we used to work with Dr. Baxter he talked about truth statements. So really think for yourself, like if you need to, write out what a true fact or truth statement is for you. And it could be words directly from the Bible, scripture, but it could also be just things you're going to say about yourself that are positive that you might want to reinforce in your head, because you could even put them on cards. And every day you wake up, you just read those cards. It's kind of like um, I don't know, positive affirmation, I guess. But it's funny how when you say those things out loud, and so sometimes it just needs to be scripture, but sometimes you need to say something that's truly right about yourself, that's positive, that you repeat in a truth statement on a daily basis. Um, so then the letter Q stands for quest. When Mary Kay started this company, she was on a quest to create a company where women would feel valued, make what they were worth, feel good about themselves, live by the golden rule, and yes, make lives better. Angela can be better. Miss Angela can be better. Okay. So I encourage you to continue on your quest for whatever your why or greater purpose might be through this business. So I think sometimes we come up with what our why is, but then we kind of get lost in whatever's going on and we kind of forget that. So I do really feel like, um, I'm not always money motivated. However, it is really important for me that the money that I'm making, and I want to manage my money in a way that I know that I have the profit to help my family where I want to help them. So it's really more about my family than about the actual money, but that money gives me choices. And so I do like making women feel better about themselves, but through all my years of being in Mary Kay, the reason why I stayed even after my kids went back to school is because I wanted to be able to pick them up from school every day. And I wanted to be able to relieve some of my husband's stress. And we've done things like help buy my kids' cars, pay for braces, paid off my husband's car. So now I'm getting this car cash again, but we don't actually have a car payment. And I'm okay with that because I have the freedom to use that cash for what I want. And right now, for the next year, it's to continue to help my son as he's getting his master's. And then it may be something else. But in my whole 27 years, there's always been something I needed to pay for. And it was super valuable and kind of a discipline for me because I'm not totally money motivated, to figure out what that was that I could help my family with. And so that's why it was important that I tracked and I made sure I knew what my profit was so that I was using that profit for what was valuable. So that was kind of my quest for what I was doing. The letter U stands for you deserve to be successful. I think sometimes we self-sabotage and hold ourselves back for whatever reason because there's something that's in our head that's saying maybe I don't really deserve this deep down. So we, like Jody, you listening to podcasts today, especially right now when you have 48 hours before your next surgery and you're trying to get things done and you're trying to think positive, I mean, that is a thing that you can do daily to help yourself make yourself feel like I deserve to be successful. I deserve for my hand to work and it's going to. I mean, so, listen to positive music, podcasts, read the word. I think coming to our meetings is a place for us to come together to support each other. Um, so I think all of those things help. And I do think that we've gotten a little bit, I guess, complacent, me included, on, we've got these events, and I sent out surveys, which there's a few people I got 14 responses. I sent it to every single person in our unit. I've gotten 14 responses, and there's a couple of people I'm going to send out to directly this week because I want to get some responses from people. But I want to keep doing these guest events on Wednesdays and Thursdays, but and I'm continuing to pay. That way, if we get guests on there, you guys are in the running for your customers are in the running for free gifts. Now, the other option could be I don't pay. We can still get on there or we can watch it later, but there is some excitement about getting a guest on that could potentially win a Kate Spade purse. So I think I want to keep doing that. But I think for everybody, you have to decide, am I working in person only? Am I going to include myself in Zoom sometimes? I mean, you can kind of choose. So I've already seen what they're doing in July, and I'm going to post that by tomorrow. And Miranda Reigns is the last week of July, and she's doing something with, I can't remember. I'll have to post it out there. But then that makeup artist that she's had the last 2 months, I believe is the second week of July. And I had a guest on one of those with that makeup artist. She is amazing. She is so good. Like, you can go back and just watch it on Janice Trude's YouTube channel, but I was really impressed with her. And I learned several things from her training on color. And my guest loved it. And my guest ended up buying $100 worth of color after being on that event. So I'm not even willing to be on there every single week, but I think what we need to look at is like, you look at it and say, okay, yes, I want to participate in this one, and then focus on getting people on that one. Or, if we do a bingo or if we're doing anything locally, so try to, get people on there because that kind of helps you become successful. And then the letter I stands for improvement. Mary Kay is self-improvement. If you continue to show up, work this business, and plug into all Mary Kay has to offer, you will be a better person in all areas of your life. I think those of you that have been in for a while believe that and know that. So we focus on building a business for sure, but being in this culture helps you have a stronger walk with God. You look better, you feel better about yourself, and you're more positive. And so, I know all of my Mary Kay sisters have encouraged me to manage my money better, manage my health better, be a better mom. It's really kind of the whole package. And I was going to say, Ryan Rogers got interviewed this week by the Direct Sales Force. And I was going to show you guys some of what he said. I don't even follow Diane Sumter, but she's the one that shared it. And he was talking about kind of what's happening going forward with the company. And I think it is good to hear what he's saying and what his thoughts are. But basically what she said she liked the most, and you can go to directsellingnews.com and see his whole question and answer interview. But he said that leadership is about stewardship, not ambition. And social media amplifies our reach. E-commerce drives efficiency. In-person events fuel culture. So we're not choosing between digital and community. We're trying to strengthen both. And so I do really feel like that's why they've gone to with the My Shop. There are some things I think that need improvements, but I think that they're listening to that and they do want to make improvements for us. So I think one of the things that we will try to do in this new year is really you know, I still believe in having some inventory. I still believe in meeting people one on one, face to face. And I feel like that is truly the best way I can build my business. But I also know that I've got to embrace social media more. And I just have to figure out how does that fit in. And that has been a struggle for me. And I think a struggle for some of you guys, but I feel like that's an area that we can still continue to grow in. And so, truly, Mary Kay's mission is enriching women's lives. So, however, we're going to do that, whether it's through finding people on social media or in person, I think anytime anybody has any interaction with you in whatever form that's in, that's where you just have the opportunity to enrich their lives. And then the letter T is time. So spend time on what you really value. So the company philosophy is God first, family second, career third in that order. And what we do is through a bunch of other things in between. We have this and that and this. It's a lot. And like I said earlier, it's kind of a loud world right now. But do not quit trying to follow that principle. If you're not sure if you're spending time on what you really want to be, then I would physically write down everything that's truly valuable to you. Why do you want more in Mary Kay? How can Mary Kay help you get more of what you value? It may not be money, I don't know, but as I said at the beginning, Mary Kay makes lives better, and it can make your life better as well. Just spend some time on what is really true, what you truly value, and put your energy and time there. So Mary Kay is different. We have a different culture. Our core reasons for doing things is not just profit and loss, it's people and love, as Mary Kay always said. And at the end of this book, her quote that she put, did a Mary Kay quote. And so I wanted to read that. And it said, "We need leaders who add value to the people and the organization they lead, who work for the benefit of others and not just of their own personal gain, who inspire and motivate rather than intimidate and manipulate, who live with people to know their problems and live with God in order to solve them, and who follow a moral compass that points in the right direction regardless of the trends." So I think that's really interesting that she said that. And I think we can still do that and still the old stuff that we've learned all these years is still valuable. It's just we also have to find a way to incorporate um, a little bit more technical things as well. And I think, at my age, that is not as easy as some of my daughter's age, but totally doable. And I think that's one of the challenges for us in this next year. And I think that's what I want to do. But I just want to encourage you, regardless of where you've ended up at the end of this year, which I think most people have done great and you've been through a lot. We've had a lot of like personal life things happen in this year. So you should be really proud of yourself that you didn't quit and that you're still here. And so I just want to encourage you to continue with that. So that is really all I had. Do you have anything to add to that, Jody? Sorry, I know you're trying to cut up something. You're gonna have to tell me what you're cooking.
Well, I'm cooking myself and Clydell tacos, but I'm getting Harlow's food ready as well
Oh,
for because whenever I make her food, it makes 4 days of food.
okay.
So may have to make another batch tomorrow.
Yeah. So she has some through the whole weekend.
Yeah, and I should be able to make it, but anyway, so no, I said I think that everything that you covered. I mean, I do remember this training, and
Okay.
it's a great training. I love that quote at the end
Mm.
of that book. That probably should be posted multiple places. Because
I
it's
could post it on my
uh,
on the page so people can read it. But it
yeah,
is good.
I might take it and share it on my public page.
Okay.
But I think that
She said it in She was speaking to her independent Salesforce leaders in 1995. That's when
Well,
she said it.
still, it still applies to today, and that
Mm-hmm.
because she was timeless. I mean, like she was
Mm-hmm.
timeless. So I think that you know, yes, we've all had a lot of life, and I think as I'm going through the things that I've gone through, and there's been other people going through major health issues and just lots of stuff. I mean, yeah. I think back about different people that I've met through Mary Kay that have pushed through different things such as cancer, and they've pushed through other other things. I remember there was a national sales director that, and maybe I'm thinking of this story incorrectly, but I could have sworn that she was riding one of her horses, and one of her horses spooked and reared up and fell on her, and it almost paralyzed her. It almost killed her. If I remember this correctly, because if I remember correctly, she came out on stage because it happened that year, and it was like my second or third year, so it was like 10, 8, 9,
Yeah,
10 years ago.
I can see her face, and I can't remember her name because she's
Yes,
retired, but she was from Utah
but
because she was
she
friends with Tammy Creek. Yeah.
Yeah, but she, that could have stopped her. And she was like,
Mm-hmm.
nope, not going to do it. And that's
Mm-hmm.
part of that don't quit. I mean, that's all of those things. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, yeah, she went through it. Brenda Austin,
Mm-hmm.
she was a consultant when she found out she had breast cancer and became a director while she had breast cancer.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there's just, I mean, there's just hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of stories like that. And I just think that it's amazing. Well, I mean, I don't remember the whole story about Cindy Williams, but her as a national sales director, I know she went through lots of stuff as she was trying to become a director and national sales director. So I believe that Mary Kay culture is a culture of support and training and that don't quit. I think that fits.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I thought, maybe we don't want to talk about money tonight. Maybe we just need a
No,
little go fight win.
yes,
We will talk about money sometime, but I think right now we just need a little go fight win, and we need to have some time to pray and think about, individually what our next step is. And I will kind of come up with what I feel like we can focus on as a unit over the next year. And I'm curious to see what Mary Kay comes out with tomorrow. Because I'll get a new director's
so
memo.
speaking of that, do you think they're going to change the criteria for stars because they've changed the
I have
criteria for
not,
everything?
I have not heard that, like as a option, but they have kept Star has been the same the whole 27 years I've been in. And, products have gotten more expensive. So it should
Well,
be
and they
easier
changed,
to be a star, but I don't know that it has gotten easier for people to be a star.
but they changed the criteria to be on quarter sales too.
Yeah, they have. Yeah. They have. So I don't know. So we'll see. But next Tuesday, I mean, if there's anything big, it's probably, you guys are going to probably see it. But we'll dive into everything next Tuesday if there's anything big. I haven't heard anything from national sales directors of any knowledge that they have of anything, but, we should get some information tomorrow. And by next Tuesday, we'll definitely go through everything. And then I'm also putting together kind of what I want to do for the year for our unit. So we'll go over all that next Tuesday too. And that gives you personally, a little bit of time to recover from your surgery. So, um, that's good. Hopefully you'll be feeling really good by next Tuesday and your hand won't be numb.
We're going
That's
to
what we're praying.
continue to pray for that because I
Yes,
am going to
we
try to
are.
go back to work Monday. So,
You are? Okay. Yeah, but hopefully you just get to rest on the weekend.
well, if I don't get my hours in tonight and tomorrow night, then I'll be working probably Saturday. So,
We're going to pray you get to do that. So we're going to get off of here. So we're going to be done. And
oh
I
no,
appreciate you.
it doesn't matter. I've got
you-
to finish cooking. So,
Yeah, I appreciate you getting on. And I'm going to send this to the people that usually
are you